Hey, sweetheart, I'm making a video about how many times out of 10 do you think Gabe wets the bed every week? I would say about 7. Okay, I'd say about 70% of the time Gabe has an accident at night. So now that I'm Mr. Mom, Mrgrrr gets to take care of the laundry, do the spray the uh, spray the Lysol. If it's nice outside, sometimes I air his mattress out. Gotta take good care of the Gabino. Now, still thinking about you, Destro, in a meeting with destiny. Now, recent events have tried to embarrass the good name of Mrgrrr. And like I've said before, two of the things that I've tried to make myself immune to in the world are one, embarrassment, aka shame, and fear. I think it was Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, that said the only animal in the world that needs to feel shame are basically humans. And I don't think that's true, Mark Twain, because if a dog has an accident on the floor and you say, Scooby, you're a bad dog, man, you can just see that those eyes droop. And so I think dogs feel shame as well, but sadly, we're the ones that kind of put it on them, which is kind of unfortunate. Animals, we are. And everything you need to learn about being a better human being, you can learn from a dog. Now, speaking of embarrassment, that's an embarrassing photo. Gabe wets the bed 70% of the time. We've had our fair share of bedwetters in our history at the monastery, and I would like to tell the world today that Mrgrrr, when he was young, was a bedwetter. I mean, and a sleepwalker. Like, there's pictures, and next time I'm visiting my folks, my dad, I'll see if I can find these pictures in the photo album. They have pictures of me sleepwalking at the school across the street. For some reason, I was so excited to go to school as a little kid, I would get up, sleepwalk to school to be the first in line. But I'm changing the subject. Let's get back to the embarrassing one, bedwetting. Now, if I ran 26 miles right now, and I could do it, it wouldn't be fast because my marathon days are kind of done. After I was done with that, I would be tired. I would probably want to take a nap. I would probably sleep a lot just because I haven't run a marathon in a long time, and I'd be pretty exhausted. I know there's some people that run, double marathons and 100-mile races. The most miles I ever ran was about 54. So I don't feel like doing ultra marathons in my old age because I don't have anything to prove in that regard. But as I was saying, if I ran a really, really long endurance race, I would be freezing cold today because it's cold out. Let me see my weight. I gotta take my gratitude shower. Oh, 1995. I am the 1995. I got the wrong shorts on, so I gotta put on my swim trunks and take my gratitude shower. But I digress. See, I'm avoiding the subject of bedwetting. My little brain, when I was little, worked so hard. It was like my brain was running a marathon every single day. So when I fell asleep, there was nothing on earth that could get me up. Like, there was a tornado, like, siren thing going on, and my parents tried to get me up, but couldn't get me up. I think my dad had to carry me. It was just ridiculous. I was such a deep sleeper when I was little. I just wet the bed constantly, and it was kind of embarrassing. The cure, and I gotta give Mumsy credit for this. we went to Shopko, and I remember distinctly the first Star Wars action figure that I ever received was Luke Skywalker in his pilot gear, the orange jumpsuit with the white helmet with the little red insignias on the side, the Rebel. That was the first Star Wars figure I ever got. And she said to me, hey, if you don't wet the bed, you'll get one of these every week. Well, problem solving began in the mind of young Mrgrrr. Like, oh my gosh, I got to defeat this problem. I want these Star Wars action figures. So Mrgrrr found a way. And that involved, well, not drinking a lot after a certain period in the time and making sure I squeezed out everything before I went to bed. I had a routine, and it worked. Instead of being like a 70% bedwetter, I became about maybe a 6% bedwetter. Once in a while, I had the random accident, and it was crushing. And yes, Mrgrrr did try to hide it on occasion because he really, really liked those action figures. But you know what? Mrgrrr is not a very good liar. So, yeah, when I was guilty, I was caught. You could, there's only so many places you can hide urine-soaked sheets and not be found. Yeah, guilty. So yeah, am I embarrassed to tell the world that when I was a young boy, I wet the bed? No, that stuff happens. So I don't think trying to embarrass me is going to help anybody in the world, and trying to drag my name through the mud isn't going to help anything either. So I'm hoping that I get to take a day off today. Turn the brain off. No written arguments, no witness lists, none of that stuff. I just want to spend some time with my wife, have a good day. And I can tell that, even though I'm immune to embarrassment, my wife isn't. And that's kind of the whole thing. I gotta start thinking more about my family and thinking about, the future. Because, hey, there was a day, and I thought it would be 3 years from now, that I'd be saying goodbye to the best job I've ever had. But let's go take a gratitude shower and be grateful for the fact I'm taking the day off of Scootergate.